Dr. Tan, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
For this particular topic, right? How many sessions do we need so that our consumers would be able to have an informed idea? Like when they go shopping, right? When they look at milk cartons, when they look at product labels and all that, right? How many sessions usually is needed so that when they go shopping, they know what they are looking for.
Okay. Usually, if let's say just as a normal consumer who would like to know or who like to interpret or understand about food label, I would say 2 or 3 sessions should be more than enough.
Oh, okay.
Mainly on like product description. This is one. The other one will be on the nutrition labeling. Okay, and then the third one will be mainly on combination of like ingredients, the ingredient list, the additive statements, and then maybe a little bit on what is date marking, about claims. So some of these topics can be combined together because, for example, like date marking is very simple, a very short session. So maybe it can combine with ingredient list. Okay. Right. For manufacturer, of course, they need more sessions. But as a consumer, there are things that is not so critical for consumer to know.
Right.
Okay. So I think 2 or 3 sessions will be good enough.
Okay. Because I see now that most supermarkets have imported goods like cereals and all that, like from the US, you have from Australia or from the UK. And I understand that, the ingredients in the US, they are labeled sometimes differently in numbers or, alphanumerical codes and all that. Whereas like in Europe, maybe it's different. I'm not too sure. Will you be covering those topics as well? Like take, for example, food coloring, red color.
Okay, if let's say you're referring to food additive, there are different countries will have different way of writing food additives. So for example, like in Malaysia, I will consider for Malaysia, ours will be a bit more simple, okay? Because for Malaysia, most of the food additive, we just need to declare the presence of food additive. We don't have to disclose what are the types of food additive we use. Only for some cases we need to do that. For example, will be flavor enhancer, MSG. If we use MSG, we have to declare the presence of MSG. But if we are using coloring, we just need to declare that, okay, there are coloring inside this product. We don't have to declare what type of coloring we use. Okay, so for Malaysia, I will say ours will be a bit simple. For numbers, okay, there are 2 types. One is what we call as E numbers. Another one is what we call as INS number. So I will say that both are very similar, just that E numbers are used in Europe countries. So if let's say those products imported from Europe country, you might be able to see E numbers on the label representing the additive that are added into the product. For other countries, like for example, Thailand, they don't use E number, they use INS number. Because INS number is developed by Codex or introduced by Codex. So Codex is not part of, I wouldn't say part of EU, but Codex is basically any country in the world can actually adopt Codex. So actually Malaysia, we have MOH already prepared the amendment in our food regulation whereby manufacturers have to introduce INS number into the food labeling. But at the moment, this amendment has been put on hold and it will be enforced starting on January 2024. So at the moment, we are still using the old one. But if you happen to look at imported products, yes, you will see E numbers. You might be seeing INS numbers. And even some local product, you will also see E numbers and INS number. Why? Because some of the local products are being imported or exported to other countries. maybe exported to Europe countries or exported to country whereby it's required by their regulation to have INS number or E numbers on the label.
Okay. Thank you. But would you say that EU requirements are more stringent?
I would say those like EU or those who require the food label to state INS number and E numbers are better for the consumer, so that consumer can really understand or know what are the additives being used. For example, like right now, we only say, okay, the product contains preservative, but we have no idea what type of preservative being used by the manufacturer. So this is one of the things that I believe MOH, they relies on this one and they want to educate consumer on this. So they are introducing these changes to our food regulations.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so without any delaying anymore, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our special session on understanding product descriptions with Dr. Thuan Chew. We know you're all eager to learn about the key components, best practices, and importance of product descriptions when shopping. Am I right, Dr. Tan?
Yes.
Dr. Thuan Chew is a renowned expert in this field, and we are excited to have him share his knowledge with us tonight. He'll be discussing various topics, including how to evaluate product descriptions, the role of labeling, and the use of specific terms and claims. So in this session, we want you, the consumers, to be empowered with the knowledge you need to make informed purchasing decisions based on accurate and effective product descriptions. Whether you're shopping for groceries or buying Kiseki, household items, or personal care products, understanding product descriptions can help you make better choices for you and for your family. So like all of our sessions, we will be having a live Q&A session at the end of Dr. Tan's session. So if you have any questions, feel free to just post it in the comment section, and we will try to answer all of your questions live. Otherwise, we will reply it later. So Dr. Tan, over to you. Let me just pass the host to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me share my slides. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, good. So good evening to everyone. Okay, thank you, Mark, for the introduction. So I'm going to share some information related to product description on a food label. So this topic is something near to my heart as it involves with food regulations and also food processing. So for this topic, most of the information is based on the Malaysian Food Regulations 195. But I do believe that similar regulations are also being used by other countries. So, so for today, we are going to focus on product description. But like Mark said, there are other information related to food label that I hope to share with all of you in the coming session. So before I start, I want to clarify on this one. Okay, so later on in the slide presentation, you might be seeing some photos of actual product. You might be hearing names of actual product. So please take note that I'm not here to endorse or dismiss any of this product. So okay. Okay, so any reference of any product, okay, do not constitute or imply endorsement, dismissal, sponsorship, or recommendation, therefore by me, the presenter. Okay, so this photo shows a typical food product shelf. Okay, this product welcomes you whenever you go shopping for groceries. Okay, you will see rows of foods and also beverages. Okay, there are various types, various brands, and also various packaging on the shelf. So there are so many choices to choose from. Okay, so luckily what we have is food label. Okay, so if we are a smart consumer, we need to know how to read or how to interpret food label. Okay, so my mantra in food labeling is read, read, and also read. Okay, we don't just look at the price, we don't just look at the brand, we need to learn how to read the food label. Okay, so typically this information is available on the food label. Okay, there are many information. Okay, we are not going to cover all of this in this session. What I'm going to cover is the first one, which is product description. So if you look at this list, okay, there are information that are required, okay, by our food regulation. So that means this information must appear on a food label. Okay, for example, like product description, this is a mandatory statement that has to be on the food label. Okay, but there are some information stated over here which are considered as optional. Okay, for example, like date marking. Okay, date marking is referring to the expiry date or the best before date. Okay, so for this one, some of the products are not required to have date marking, but some products are required to have date marking. So why I bring this up is because sometimes if you look at a product and you don't see the date marking printed on the label, don't freak out. Okay, it's normal for that particular product. Okay, unless that product is required to have date marking and is not stated on the label, then that is considered as an offense. Okay, okay. So and there are also some statements that are forbidden to appear on food label. Okay, so those we are not going to cover today. So maybe in the future, if we have time, we will be covering some of this. So one of the common statement, okay, common mistake in consumer is that they think brands and product description are interchangeable. They are referring to the same thing. So actually, they are not the same. Okay, brands are more for marketing purposes. Okay, if you look at the photo on the right hand side, you will notice that like Royal Durian, this is the brand of the product. Okay, so usually brands are being designed or created to be catchy. Okay, to make it easy for consumer to recognize the product. Okay, and sometimes they can actually be a bit misleading. Okay, so if you look at this product, actually the product description for this product is actually frozen durian. Okay, Royal Durian is actually the brand of this product. So I'm going to show some example. Okay, these are some of the common or popular products available in the retail market. Okay, except for the first one. First one, Kiseki, you have to buy from Mark. Okay, it's not available at Tesco or Aeon at the moment. Okay, but if you can see over here, Kiseki is referring to the brand. Okay, the product description actually is referring to is actually liquid postbiotic. Okay, other product like Milo, or some people read it as Milo, that is brand. Okay, if you look at the product description, is actually chocolate malt beverage mix. Okay, Cheesedale is also another one. Okay, Yakult and also Peel Fresh. So these are the type of brand available, and each of these brand, of course, it will be good if you know the product description, and you can find this product description printed on the label. And in Malaysia, of course, for product produced in Malaysia, the product description will be in Bahasa Malaysia. Okay, but of course, some company, they will have both the English and also the BM version. Okay, so some of this product, okay, the product description are very easy. Okay, they are very straightforward. Example, like if you are buying honey, the product description is honey. If you are buying spaghetti, the product description is spaghetti. So these are the easy one. Okay, some very straightforward, but some are a bit challenging. Okay, so there are a few examples, but in this sharing session, I only share two. So the first one is on this one: orange juice drink, and also orange flavored drink. So if you look at these four product description, some consumer might think that, oh, they are the same. Okay, or some might be thinking that, okay, orange juice drink, they are the same. Okay, there's no difference between them. It's just a matter of the company. They prefer to label it as orange juice or orange juice drink. Okay, if you think like this, then it's actually wrong. Okay, so these four product description are referring to 4 different products. Okay, the difference between these products are in terms of the composition. So if you look at these 4 product description, okay, for example, like the first one is orange juice. The second one, you notice that they add another word called drink. Okay, the third one is they remove the juice and then they just label it as orange drink. And then the third one is orange flavor. So this one is easy for consumer to understand now, because they will automatically understand that, okay, this is a flavored drink. Okay, but for the first 3, it can be a bit challenging if you are not aware about what are the differences between these 3 products. So to make it simple, I have summarized it in this table. So if you look at the first row, this is actually the most critical one. I believe all of us would learn to know this. Okay, the juice content in the product. If you are buying a product labeled as fruit juice, then it will be almost 100% juice. Okay, why I say almost 100%? Because some company, they might add in added sugar. They might add in extra sugar, which is actually allowed in by MOH. Okay, for fruit juice, they can actually add in added sugar. Okay, and they can add in preservative as well. They cannot add in coloring. Okay, so there should be no extra coloring added into fruit juice. For flavoring, if let's say the product is orange juice, so they can add flavoring that are derived from oranges. Okay, it must be from the same fruit. Okay, for food conditioner, the only food conditioner they can add in will be vitamin C. Okay, regardless of any type of juice, they can add in vitamin C. And all these are actually regulated under regulation number 235 in food regulations 195. But if you look at the second product, which is called fruit juice drink, okay, I replaced the word orange with fruit, okay, because this regulation can be applied to any type of fruit juice drink. It can be orange juice drink, it can be apple juice drink, it can be pineapple juice drink. So when you see this product description stated on the label, the amount, okay, the minimum amount of fruit juice that should be added to this product is 35%. Okay, they can go more than 35%, okay, but it can be as low as 35%. So if let's say manufacturer add in 35% of orange juice, so what they need to add in next definitely will be sugar to make it sweet. They have to add in coloring to make it look better. And also they have to add in flavoring to make it taste better. Okay, so the next one, fruit drink, is only 5%. Okay, of course it can go higher than 5%, but it will not be higher than 35. Because if let's say higher than 35, the product will be classified as fruit juice drink. Okay, and for flavored drink, basically I would say mainly they add in flavoring. Okay, of course they can add in fruit juice as well, which I doubt they will do that, because it will not be more than 5%. So it could be just 1 or 2%. So most likely manufacturer will just add in flavoring to give the flavor for the product. Okay, so if you look at this, the first one is actually the one that actually consumer would really like to know. Okay, because when we are buying fruit juice, we want to know, are we buying fruit juice or are we buying sugar water? Okay, so if let's say the fruit juice content is very low, most likely you are paying for the water and also the sugar. Okay, so next time when you are buying juice, or if you go to retail market and the promoter tells you that, okay, this is orange juice, my advice is please read the label. Okay, look for the product description. Okay, it can be very small, it can be located in places that are hard to find. Okay, but definitely it will appear on the label. Okay, you just need to look for it. Okay, and try to see whether you see the word drink. If you see the word drink on the label, you should know that this is not pure fruit juice. Okay, or at least it's not almost 100% pure. Okay, so look for the word drink. If you see the word drink, you know that it's not fruit juice. Okay, so don't be confused by the second type, which is fruit juice drink. Okay, fruit juice drink and fruit juice These are two different products. Okay, so some might ask me, okay, how do we know the percentage of fruit juice in the product? Okay, at the moment, for now, it's up to the manufacturer to declare the percent. So most likely in Malaysia, none of the manufacturer will declare what is the percent of fruit juice they use in the product. Okay, but luckily in MOH, they have already started to take this initiative to introduce what we call as QID, okay, quantitative ingredient declaration. Okay, so if let's say the manufacturer declare that this is a fruit juice or a fruit juice drink, so the amount of fruit juice that is being used in the product has to be declared on the label. Okay, so you just need to go to the ingredient list and check what is the percent. Okay, so for example, like this product, okay, this product is a pineapple coconut banana smoothie. Okay, so on the statement, they mentioned that it's a blend of apple juice, banana, pineapple juice, and coconut milk. So these are the four type of ingredients that are being emphasized on the label. So for the manufacturer, they have to declare all these four ingredients, the percentage used in the formulation. Okay, so it's not to say that manufacturer, they have to declare all the percentage for all the ingredient. Okay, so what they need to do is they need to check on the label, on the product description, what is the ingredient that are being emphasized on the label, okay, or on the product description. So if let's say the product description for the product is orange juice drink, so orange juice is being emphasized on the product description. So in the ingredient list, they have to declare what is the amount or what is the percent of orange juice being used to prepare this product. Okay, same with orange drink, because the word orange is being emphasized on the product description. They have to declare what is the percent of orange juice being used to produce the product. Other than that, they don't have to declare the percentage, like the percent of sugar being used, the percent of preservative being used, they don't have to declare that. But if they want to declare, by all means. This amendment actually being proposed in 2020, okay, and then they want to enforce it in 2022, okay, which is last year. But I think there are some feedback from the industry. Maybe they are not ready yet to change on the label. So, or maybe they need more time in order to incorporate this new amendment. So MOH have already postponed it to January 2024. Okay, but when I go shopping, when I go do my grocery, I do happen to check on the food label as well. There are some company whereby they have already implement these changes on their label, okay, which is a good thing for consumer. So next time when you go to retail market, if you happen to buy apple juice or orange juice, okay, do check the product description and as well do have a look at the ingredient list to see if you can see what is the percent of juice being used to produce those products. So the next one, okay, the next type of product, okay, will be milk. Okay, so for those who are who drinks milk very often, okay, these are some of the terms that might be familiar to you, or maybe this might be that might be foreign to you. Okay, I think fresh milk, you should be able to interpret what is fresh milk, but like recombined milk, okay, lactose hydrolyzed milk, fill milk, okay, these are the terms that might be new to you. Okay, so for this one, it's a bit difficult to put in table form, okay, because in order to understand what are all these about, you need to understand the process, how manufacturer produce this product. Okay, so for this topic or this example, we are going to have a look at 7, I believe, 7: fresh milk, recombined milk, reconstituted milk, flavored milk, lactose hydrolyzed milk, fill milk, and also evaporated milk. Okay, aside from reconstituted milk, all of these are available in Malaysia. Okay, they might look the same when you pour them into a cup of in a cup. Okay, but please read the label. Okay, all these names will appear on the label. It's just whether you can find it on the label or not. Okay, sometimes it will be hidden in between some photos, or maybe positioned at the bottom of the label, which is not actually prominent which is not a prominent position, but definitely it will appear on the label. So if we look at how it's being produced, all of these products are produced from milk. Okay, so don't worry about that. So if you look at the easy one, okay, if you add flavor to fresh milk, what you get is flavored milk. Okay, if you add enzyme, okay, like enzyme lactase to milk, okay, this enzyme will hydrolyze the lactose and it will convert it into glucose and galactose. So these are the type of milk that are suitable for those who are lactose intolerant. Okay, lactose intolerance are those patients who are a bit sensitive to lactose. So when they consume lactose, they have bloating issue, they don't feel well. Okay, so this is because of the lactose, which is the milk sugar that present in fresh milk. Okay, so if let's say they want to consume milk, they have to go for either lactose hydrolyzed milk, or in the market, they also have what they call as a lactose-free milk. Okay, usually lactose-free milk are being produced using a different method. Okay, evaporated milk, okay, those are being produced by evaporation. So they remove some of the water from the milk. If you want to produce reconstituted milk, usually that will be from full cream milk powder. So what they do is they will dry fresh milk using maybe spray dryer, and then add water to the powder in order to reconstitute it into reconstitute it to a similar composition as fresh milk. Okay, so the milk fat content in reconstituted milk is actually similar with fresh milk, which is 3.25%. So the next one will be, if you separate fresh milk, you will get what we call as skim milk and also cream. Okay, so skim milk basically is the portion or the component that is low in fat content, and cream is the one that is high in fat content. Okay, so why do they want to separate this? Okay, mainly is they want to produce two different types of product. One is what we call as filled milk. Filled milk basically is skim milk add with vegetable oil, okay, or vegetable fat. So when they add in the vegetable fat to replace the milk fat, what you get is actually filled milk. Okay, it has similar 3.25 milk fat as compared to fresh milk. Just that the fat content is not from milk fat, but is derived or is from vegetable. Okay, and recombined milk is when you combine back the cream and skim milk. Okay, some might ask me, why do you want to separate the milk into skim milk and cream and then add them back together again? Okay, so this process by combining cream and skim milk can actually produce low-fat milk, full cream milk, filled milk, and also flavored milk. So those who consume low-fat milk is actually they combine skim milk and cream at a specific ratio so that the fat content is no longer 3.25. Okay, so they might be using 100% of the skim milk, but they don't use 100% of the cream, maybe they use 50%. So when you add these two together, you will definitely be getting a lower amount of fat. And for low-fat milk, the fat content must not be more than 1.5%. Okay, so it's basically less than half of the milk fat of a fresh milk. Okay, full cream milk, on the other hand, is actually similar to fresh milk, 3.25%. Okay, and then you can also produce filled milk using this method. Okay, just that you can add a little bit of cream, and also you can add a little bit of vegetable oil, and then you will get filled milk produced from recombined milk. Okay, because filled milk is not necessarily 100% of the milk fat to be replaced by vegetable oil. It can be half of it, it can be 25% of it, it can be 60% of it. Okay, as long as some of the milk fat is being replaced by vegetable oil, that product is considered as filled milk. Okay, the fat content is still 3.25, which is similar to fresh milk. Okay, and flavored milk you can also produce using recombined milk. Okay, just add flavor to recombined milk, you have what we call as flavored milk. Okay, so these are the type of product description that you will see on the label. So next time, if you look at low fat milk, please take a look at the label. You will definitely see this word recombined milk. Okay, it's mandatory to declare on the label. Okay, they cannot say I don't want to declare this. Okay, the only way they can have a low-fat milk, not from recombined milk, is they have to identify a type of cow that can produce fat, that can produce milk with not more than 1.5% fat. Okay, which I believe is very rare. Okay, typical milk fat content in milk is about 3 point something to 4%. Okay, so to get a special breed of cow that produce milk with only 1.5% or less of milk fat is very special. Okay, so when you see low fat milk, look at the label. Definitely you will see somewhere on the label with this word recombined milk. Okay, so longest product description. Okay, if I may ask Mark, okay,
Yes.
what do you think is the longest, or how many words do you think consists in a product description with I mean, what could be the maximum number of words on a product description?
That's allowed on a product description. Maybe 30.
30 is a bit too much lah. Okay, because so far when we look at the example that I shared just now, mostly like 2 words, 3 words, or 4 words. Okay, so for a product with a long product description, actually it's more than 3. Okay, this is the one that I can find in the market, which is 13. Okay, Crisp hazelnut and milk chocolate covered specialty with a smooth filling and whole hazelnut. Okay, this is the product description, but usually we don't use this product description. Okay, we call this as Ferrero Rocher.
Yes.
Yes, that is the brand. Okay, but the product description is this. It's very long. Okay, so product description doesn't mean that it must be only 2 words or 3 words. Product description should describe the product, because for this product it's a bit special. You have a nut inside the chocolate filling, and the chocolate filling is covered by another layer of crisps or chocolate crisps. So it's actually 3 layers. Okay, 1 layer crisps inside chocolate filling, and inside the chocolate filling you can find 1 hazelnut. Okay, so the product description has to describe what is the product about. Okay, so it can be very long. Okay, so sometimes you will see that some are like 1 word or 2 words or 3 words, but some product, for example, like this one, it can be up to 13 words just to describe the product. Okay, and next time if you happen to go to the retail market, take a look at the box, you will see this word on the product. Okay, because this is the product description. Okay, the brand is just Ferrero Rocher. That's just a brand. Okay, without the brand, it's okay for you to sell, but without a product description, it's considered as an offense.
Right.
Okay, so thank you, Mark. Okay, so before I end, okay, here are some of the key takeaway. Okay, first thing you need to know is that brand is not product description. Okay, we are very familiar with the brand. Okay, but it's important for us to know the product description, because from the product description you will know what is inside the packaging. Okay, you will understand more about the product. Okay, so always read the food label before buying or before eating. Okay, and if you don't understand the product description, look at the ingredient list. Okay, if you see a lot of ingredient in the ingredient list, the product description is very simple, but you can see a lot of things inside on the ingredient list, then you know that what you are thinking or what you interpret the product, mainly it could be a wrong interpretation. Okay, so try to understand. If you can understand, look at the ingredient list. Okay, so as a consumer, you need to know what you are buying. Okay, for example, like if you really want to buy orange juice, and if you pick up a product which is labeled as orange fruit or orange juice drink, you should know that you are not buying orange juice. Okay, because the percent of orange juice inside the product, it can be as low as 35%. Okay, I'm not saying all will be 35%. Okay, it can be more than that. Okay, but as a manufacturer, if they want to earn more, they want to have a higher profit margin, of course, the orange juice percentage will be low lah. Okay. So as the manufacturer, okay, you need to know what you are selling. Okay, because if you use a wrong product description, you might it's considered as an offense according to the food regulations 195. So you will be fined, okay, by the enforcer lah if you're being caught. Okay. So for that, I would like to thank everyone for coming to this session to hear about product description. So do you have any question to ask?
Yes. Okay, I have a KCEO. Can all the listed milk be made into pasteurized milk? Thanks.
Okay, if let's say, I believe you are referring to those ready to drink milk lah. Okay, ready to drink milk. I will say yes, minimum pasteurized. Okay, even fresh milk, even though it's called fresh, okay, but according to food regulation, manufacturers are allowed to do thermal processing. That means heating. So the mildest thermal processing will be pasteurization, but it can also be subjected to UHT or it can be subjected to sterilization, which are considered as a higher thermal processing. So it can be pasteurized. You can have pasteurized flavored milk. You can have pasteurized filled milk. You can have pasteurized fresh milk. You can have pasteurized lactose-free milk. Yes.
Okay.
And this pasteurization, the type of thermal processing being used, the manufacturer has to declare on the product for milk product. Only for milk product, they have to declare. For juices, they don't have to declare. But for milk product, they have to declare whether this is a UHT milk, or whether this is a pasteurized milk, or whether this is a sterilized milk. So the product description can be very long. It can be UHT strawberry flavored milk. So it's four different, consists of four words.
Okay. I hope that we have answered Ms. KCEO on that. We have another question, which is from me. On your previous slide, how does it apply to soy milk, oat milk, macadamia milk, all the new type of milk?
Okay. Actually, if you ask me, aside from soy milk and coconut milk, others should actually be labeled as hazelnut drink, oat drink, because milk. This is how to say. Some consumer when they hear soy hazelnut milk, they might be thinking, oh, this product contains milk. They just add in hazelnut as a flavoring or as one of the ingredients. So if you ask MOH, they will suggest you to change it to hazelnut drink.
Okay.
Yeah, or oat drink. It shouldn't be oat milk.
Right. Okay, thank you. We have a Ben Yo. Does orange juice really contain just orange juice with no additional sugar added?
Possible. Because for orange juice, the addition of sugar is considered as optional according to regulation. So if let's say they do add in sugar, then they have to declare. If they are not adding any sugar to the product, it's fine, no issue. So I don't see any issue with a product whereby they declare no added sugar. But it will be a problem if the product declare no sugar in orange juice, because orange juice by default contains sugar, fructose, glucose, sucrose. They do have natural occurring sugar in fruit juices. So if there's on the label you can see no added sugar, that means this product do contains sugar, just that manufacturer they are not adding additional sugar to the product. But according to regulation, manufacturer can add sugar to the product and still claim that this is orange juice, but they cannot claim it's 100% orange juice because you have already added additional ingredient to the product. So it could be 99%, it could be maybe 98%.
Okay. We have a follow-up question by Ben Yo. If they add in like fructose or sucrose, does that differ like sugar from sugarcane or table sugar?
According to regulation, they are allowed to add any type of sugar.
Right. Okay. Also, will we have a session to talk about all this sucrose, fructose, whatever, toast, all the toast, right?
Can. Yes, definitely.
With that, yeah. I think a lot of people would like to know what are the differences of all these toast.
Just sugar. I mean, in food chemistry, sugar is not only sucrose. It can be like milk. They do contains milk sugar, which is known as lactose. And for fruits, okay, usually they will contain a combination of glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Even honey also is a combination of these three, just that majority of the sugar in honey are glucose and fructose, only a small amount of sucrose. If you have a high amount of sucrose in the product, okay, for honey, then most likely is considered as an adulterated honey.
Right. Okay.
One more thing, and for sugar, right, it can appear in various form. If let's say they don't add sugar, they can add in other food ingredient that can actually be hydrolyzed by our body into sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the thing will be maltodextrin.
Oh, okay.
You consume it, you don't feel the sweetness, but your body will hydrolyze it into sugar.
Okay, we have a follow-up question with from KCO. Is oat milk equal to fresh milk in value?
In value, this one is a bit challenging. If you ask me, equal, I will assume it's referring to the composition in terms of the protein content, in terms of the fat content. Maybe I'll say yes, but I don't have a definite answer. It depends on what is the percent of protein in the oat milk or oat drink. Because when we consume oat milk, we might be looking at the protein content. Okay, so it depends on what is the protein content in the product. If you're just comparing between in terms of the protein content wise, it could be the same.
But perhaps I think what we can do is we can just do some comparisons and then reply KC.
Sure. Yes.
Maybe tomorrow morning or later. Okay. So yeah, I guess we do not have any more questions. Okay, while we wait for people to think about questions, maybe Dr. Lim, whilst we were talking about all this lactose and also many toast, right? You have a personal experience with Kiseki on your lactose intolerance. So maybe you can just share your experience with our viewers.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, in fact, me personally, I'm actually lactose intolerant. So I'm not sure. I think it started when I was in the universities. Yeah. So I cannot take initially my tolerance was still good. I can still take like evaporated milk. I can still take like fresh milk, but then it gradually, the the lactose tolerance is getting like very low and totally like lactose intolerant at all. So every time when I go for a hot chocolate, I would say, substitute it with soy milk or any other oat milk that is like non-dairy milk. So until when Mark introduced the Kiseki, he actually gave me some of the samples. So I just actually tried. I was a bit like, post-biotic, okay, why not I just try it? So I tried for the first time and for the second time, I take like every day once a day, like once a small cup. So when I try, there was one incident where I actually ordered the hot chocolate. I forgot to tell them, can you just switch the milk to non-dairy? I forgot to tell them actually. But then it happened to be like, how come my stomach can actually tolerate it? Then tolerate with the milk. So I was thinking, what have I taken? So it actually flashed in my mind that, maybe could it be like Kiseki? So I just stop Kiseki and try what happened. So I challenged myself. So I tried Kiseki. I stopped the Kiseki for like a couple of days or maybe like a week or two. Then I tried to take milk again and my stomach got bloaty and also a little bit of diarrhea. So I took back the Kiseki again. Then I realized that, Kiseki actually helps in the, probably produce some of the metabolites or some of the compounds that will actually help for to get rid of whatever problems that I have for the milk. So now I can still take milk, but probably in a light way. But then the more I take Kiseki like in a continuous for quite some time, then I can take some of the dairy products for now. Yeah. So I think Kiseki really helps for those who are lactose intolerant, especially for milk.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Dr. Lim. So I guess that's all the time we have for this session. Our next session will be with Dr. Lim. It's going to be 1st of March, and he will be talking to us about how Kiseki helps with your immune system. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Yes.
Now, I just want to add one more thing, since you're talking about, just now you're asking about oat milk and soy milk. Yes. In food regulation, we do have two different product description for soy milk. One is soybean milk. Another one is soybean drink.
Okay.
So if you happen to look at a product, these two descriptions are referring to different things. But the difference is very small. It's just in terms of the protein content. So for soybean milk, the protein content should be at least 2%. For soybean drink, it will be at least 1.5%. So if you are looking for something which has higher protein content, go for soybean milk instead of soybean drink.
But Casey, your question was oat milk.
Yeah, I'm just bringing up this If oat milk, what I can think at the moment I will say very similar, unless Miss Casey is looking for something which is high in fiber.
Okay.
Aside from fiber, I think it will be very similar between these two. If Casey is interested to consume something which is rich in fiber, then yes, maybe go for oat milk.
Okay.
Protein, fat, calcium, all those are available on both the product, oat milk and also fresh milk.
Okay.
But fiber is the one that is very different. You won't get fiber in fresh milk, but you do get fiber in oat milk. Yes. Which is a good thing, fiber is a good thing.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tan. So thank you everyone for joining. If you haven't liked our page, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, please subscribe. If you feel that you have a friend or family that you might needs our help in terms of their well-being, wellness, and all that, can always WhatsApp us at 011-2288-5500. So, and links to Dr. Siva's page and all of our resources will be posted below as well. So, thank you, everyone. Take care. God bless and be well. Thank you.
Bye.